Welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and today we are going to have a look at another Sailfish OS related topic, which is going to be Situations. And Situations is an app that is really helpful for you because it can react to different situations which are happening to your smartphone or to yourself. And what that is all about is more or less that you, for instance, can set up different kind of rules, what should happen at a certain point or a certain thing that is happening. So for instance, let's say you are at a certain position, or you are, for instance, in a meeting, or you are, I don't know, your battery status is at a certain level or something like that, then the app can handle stuff on your smartphone. So for instance, I don't know, turn your signals off, for instance. So you're not going to be disturbed or something if you're in a meeting. The meeting will be, if you want that and if you give the app a permission to that, will check your calendar and see, hey, okay, now the person is in a meeting, so we will have to react to that and, for instance, just turn off your smartphone and put it into flight mode or whatever you set up, because it's up to you what you wanted it to do. And it really is very powerful, and one of the probably best apps I have seen in Sailfish OS for now. And you can get it from Jolla's own store, and I will show you what this is all about and what you can do with it. Jolla's store has a couple of different limitations of what an app can do and what it can provide and bring with it. And so some of the functionality has to be installed afterwards by yourself if you want to use it, but the basic stuff is already there. And of course, if you are fine with installing the other functions too, then you have a lot more than that. And so let's start with that. As always, I'm using my Sailfish OS Xperia 10 Mark III in this video. And this is more or less running, of course, a screencast web server, which is going to provide everything that is on the screen to my laptop, which is standing at the side here. And my laptop is connected by HDMI to this TV, so you can see everything in a big way, or on the big screen, better to say. And just to let you know, if you see something, it might have a little bit of a delay because of this technology, but that is nothing that has to do with the smartphone or something, but it's all about the technology, because the technology is just going to take screen shots all the time, save them and provide them by a virtual web server on the smartphone and bring it to my VLAN or my wireless LAN, and so I can WLAN. Is that the name? I don't know, Wi-Fi in the end. And then my laptop can access that and open it in the browser. And for that, I'm just going to go out of my start screen here and going to go to Firefox in this case, bringing it into the big screen mode, so there's no interface interfering with it. And now you should be able exactly to see what is happening on my smartphone, but as you already can see, there is a little bit of a delay. You will see that, and in the end it's like that. I can't do anything about it, but it's not the smartphone itself, it's really the technology we are using here. And so let's have a look at Situations. And Situations can be downloaded. I'm going to put my smartphone somewhere here so you can see the smartphone and the big screen at the same time, hopefully. And sometimes there's a little bit of glare and mirror stuff and stuff like that going on, sorry for that, but then you have to look at the big screen there. And just to let you know, go to your Jolla store. Of course, you can find it on your smartphone already pre-installed in general. Click there, and then you are going to go into this screen if you activated it, and then you can just go to the search bar and put in Situation, for instance, and Situations comes up. If I click on that, you can already see this is the app, and just to install it, just drop down here, install it. Of course, I already have installed it, so it's not in my selection part there, but in the end, you would have an install button there and can get it like this on your smartphone. Situations is one of the apps which I'm really astonished about how it's looking, how well it is designed and how good it is working in the end. So let's have a look at where to go. In general, of course, it's at the lowest point, but I already have installed it and put it into my settings app here, settings folder, better to say. And now we can start it up. If you are starting situations for the first time, you're getting a couple of different things. For instance, you're getting a tutorial which is going to tell you very in detail and very nicely what you can do with it and where you can do with stuff and where you can find information, help and stuff like that. And it's going to ask you to install Sonar, which is of course a helpful component for situations to do a couple of different things that software itself can't do. So in general, you should install it if you really want the full power of the app for this kind of thing. But as mentioned before, since the Jolla store doesn't allow a couple of different things, you will have to do it by hand. For now, I'm just going to leave it like that, and you're presented after the tutorial has been concluded. Of course, I can't restart it now because I'm already in the app. I don't think there's any kind of option to reactivate it, but there's another Sonar install button and stuff like that. Let's see, I don't think I'm able to reactivate it. No. Doesn't seem to give me an option like that, so I can't really have a look at the tutorial again, which is a bit of a pity if you ask me, but whatever. If you need any kind of help with the app or something, you can go to this button there and click on help in this case. And this is a German version because my smartphone is running in the German language mode, so for you it might be a little bit different, but the interface itself should be the same, so you should be able to see what we are going to do here. Okay, and at the start you're going to be asked which kind of situations you are going to want here, and you can of course add another situations all the time. So for instance, if you go to one of those, you can already see this is more or less a set which is going to be in this case defined by when you are going to be home. So in the end it's all about when you are in probably at home, so you would have to put it in there by yourself, but you can of course click on that and change, for instance, the information here. And yeah, for me, I would say this is the earliest time I'm home, but I'm not starting at 7. So probably something like this is more or less common. Maybe something, yeah, something like this is common for me. And so in this case, this is going to ask you, hey, when are you at home? And I'm of course at home from something like these kind of informations. And then you can tell him what to do. For instance, in this case, predefined is that the, thank you. As mentioned before, install Sonar, because otherwise you are going to have a limited feature set here. But in the end, what you already can see is that in this situation, so when will it happen and what will happen at the lower part. What will happen? It will activate Wi-Fi, it will activate Bluetooth if it's not already done, and in general if you are going out, let's go out and go to at work, it's going to do something similar. Probably it's going to, for instance, decrease my volume of any kind of notification sounds if I'm at work, for instance. And what you want to do here is really up to you. So in the end, here's this in a meeting, for instance. So if we have any kind of situation here that is in between 8 and 16 o'clock on Monday to Friday in this case, and there is a calendar or an appointment in your calendar which is not the whole day, then do something like, for instance, mute my smartphone. And this, for instance, is for meetings. And of course you can do your own one. So if you want to do an own one, just click here, put in an own situation name. For instance, let's say we are plugging in headphones. So just give it some kind of a name. You can put in some kind of propose it is meant to mean here. In the end, I'm just going to put, for instance, a connection or something, or whatever you want to do. Of course, you can do a couple of other things too. For instance, just leave it empty. I'm just going to do that. Then when will it happen? In the end, we could click here, and now you have a couple of different options to choose from. For instance, if there is a connection between your smartphone and something else, in this case accessories, then you can, for instance, say, okay, hey, if there's audio equipment attached to my smartphone, then do something. And of course, what would you like to do? Click on the plus there, and now we can, for instance, have a look at the, let's say, I don't know, let's start an app if we do that. For instance, then you go to this button at this, click on the app selection, and now you can see every app on your smartphone, including all the different Android ones and the ones that are native, is now listed up here. And you can, for instance, go in here and choose, let's say, Medium, which is more or less an audio player of Sailfish OS. And like this, if you plug in your headphones, this app will start like this if this application or the headphones situation is on. Then go out, and as you can see, we have this now and can work with it. Of course, you can put it your own little icon there if you want to. For instance, let's use the music one. So we can already see, hey, okay, this has to do with music. And like this, we can really, easily have all the situations we want here and use them to do different stuff with our smartphone. Again, please install the Sonar one, because if you are not installing that, you have a couple of different options which are not available. Let's have another look at what we can do. Or maybe I'm going to go into this. And as you can see, you have a couple of different options which you can do. For instance, you can open up a website too. You can enable, disable Bluetooth, for instance. You can use the screen brightness and stuff like that. And a lot of other things you really want to have a look at all the different options here. There are really, really many, especially what to do and when to do it and stuff like that. So just try it out. It really is a very great app, and one of the essential ones. I wouldn't say it's essential or something, but it's really one of the best designed ones, working great, and especially if you are installing Sonar, mentioned before. And like this, just try it out. And of course, if you are unsure where to find everything, just go into the settings here, go to, I think it's under About in this case, there it is, and just try to install Sonar. And after that, you really have a couple of other options too, so it's even increasing in options then, and everything that you click on will really work as it should. Yeah. And I think this is more or less what I wanted to show you about this app in all the episode. So please have a look at that, really, really helpful. And other than that, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you had fun with this episode and I showed you something new. If so, or if the episode was just fun for you, give it a thumbs up. Of course, if you haven't subscribed till now, do that down below. And if you have any kind of questions or whatever, just put down below a comment in, and I'm going to answer to that as fast as I can. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, have a great time, have a great day, and see you in the next episode. Bye. Bye.